What's up? I'm back. You know, the motherfucking vibe. Side note, before we even get into this motherfucking video, it's a lot of noise in the background. It's trucks, it's cars, it might be people too. But bear with me and open your ears, because you know what time it is. So right now in my life, one of the things I am learning and tapping into is discomfort. I feel like this is not something that's new to me, even though I'm doing it in a new way. I've dealt with discomforting feelings and emotions and thoughts and shit, but now I'm in a physical, you know what I'm saying? So when it was time for me to tap back into this energy again, I found myself a couple of days ago like stretching areas of my body that I don't usually stretch and that tend to be very tight. And I just found myself stretching, and I end up doing this pose. It's called Masana. I'll put it on the screen. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but in me doing that pose, like, it's always been so uncomfortable for me doing that pose. Like, not even because it hurt or anything, it's just like mad uncomfortable physically and mentally, to the point where like my mental just fucking struggling doing that shit. Like, I can't even like aid myself and like reassure myself that, you know, it's all good and shit. But doing that pose has always been so uncomfortable for me. But as of recently, I've been like going a different way about it. I've been more able to allow that discomfort, that feeling of discomfort, to be there, and allow myself to actually sit in it, allow myself to soak up that feeling. I just allow myself to sit in it and actually really embrace that feeling. So after doing that pose, what I found myself doing as well was just like moving, right? So I would be kind of like in the same positioning of that pose. I'm not gonna go into detail, but kind of in that same positioning. Instead, I'm moving, right? I'm like moving in the discomfort. So that was another thing I picked up on. So you have to sit in the discomfort. You have to then be able to move in it. But I want to really break down how to actually do that. It's not just something I can tell you straight like that and you click off the video. No, bitch, it's not over. Let me tell you some more. So first I want to talk about what it really takes to take on mental discomfort, because really, if you're trying to go into physical discomfort and your mental can't even take it, it's gonna be a bit harder. You know, you kind of multitasking here. When it comes to embracing discomfort in the mental field, it's about embracing those emotions, those thought patterns that you love and feel more comfortable pushing away, right? So you know how people talk about during meditating, it's good to like clear your mind first. So the thing you do before meditating is you unpack, right, all these thoughts, all these different things that have went through your mind for the entire day, the entire week, shit, the month. You know, all those things that have went through your head that you've just tucked away at that very time. You're gonna want to bring that shit up. You're gonna want to allow yourself to see it and recognize it, acknowledge it, you know. There's people in the back, but we gotta keep going. But you're gonna want to bring those things to the surface and just look at them. And it is an uncomfortable feeling. So the more you're able to bring up this emotion, bring up a thought pattern, a feeling, any of that just feels uncomfortable, which is the whole reason you pushed it away, you're gonna get used to it. It's not gonna be as uncomfortable anymore, especially when you're not even doing it at the end of your days anymore. You're doing it through the day. You're doing it at that very moment as it arises. You get used to that discomfort, and it's no longer uncomfortable. It's no longer labeled as discomfort for you anymore. It's just the mundane. It's a new habit. So once you have this mental capacity to, and this mental strength to really take on things, physically, what's gonna happen, right? So let's say your body's hurting, you're in pain. If you don't have the mental aid, the mental strength to be able to tell yourself something other than what you're actually feeling, something better than what you're actually feeling, then it's gonna make it a bit harder to actually move through that physically. But once you get in on a physical level, right? So with me, it's like I'm in this position, and instead of really recognizing this discomfort, I recognize it as something that's new. That's all discomfort really is. It's just something new, something you have not touched before, some space in my body that I just have not moved into ever before, you know? So now that I'm moving into this space, I recognize it as this is a new space I'm moving into. Yeah, the more discomfort I'm feeling, the more I'm moving into it. But it's really just about reassuring your body of the truth, because, and that doesn't take away from it feeling uncomfortable. Yeah, it still feels uncomfortable, but once you recognize that feeling as something that is new, something new to come, you're able to take it on. So I feel like it's so important to learn how to move and operate and take on discomfort on an internal level, you know, with your feeling in your body, with your feeling in your mind, or what you see in your mind, whatever the case may be. It's important to do that, because in life, when shit outside of you get to come and shit outside of you get uncomfortable, if you already know how to do that on the inside, that's going to be nothing. And that's also why I recognized why I was doing what I was doing. I'm like, oh, there's something new coming. I got to get used to this shit. I know what time it is. Knowing how to take discomfort on the inside, whenever there's an uncomfortable experience or an uncomfortable situation brought into you by another person, another place or thing, you're going to know how to take it on. You're going to be able to operate. And that was something I actually saw a couple of days ago. Like, I got put in this situation where, you know, it kind of was a bit nerve-wracking for me. My heart started beating, my hands got a little shaky. But even in me feeling that, I was still able to approach the situation and be able to say something with efficiency. You know, instead of reacting off of the feeling and everything of it and getting all shaky in my words, I just felt that and I was able to push through and say what I had to say in that situation. And when I saw that shit, I was like, oh shit, you know, that's really it was literally right after I had recognized what I was doing, why I was stretching into my body the way that I was. It was literally right after. But discomfort is not something that can be pushed to the side. It can't be rejected. You can't miss it. It's not something you can dodge in life. It's something that's gonna happen. So you have to learn how to roll with it, how to roll with those punches. You gotta adapt to it, you know, because it's something that's always going to be there. And that's the same with a lot of other things, you know, because like I said, in my body I was feeling some type of way. That also goes with emotions. Yeah, you're going to feel that emotion. That emotion is going to keep on coming with that same situation. That's not something that's really the focus on being taken away. You know, you don't want to focus on taking away the emotion. You want to learn how to operate in that emotion, learn how to operate in the way that you really desire and the way that you know is really going to benefit you, even with how you're feeling. That takes strength. I'm still learning too, but I know. And I want to share. But yeah, stop ducking that uncomfortable shit. Face it. Face it. Challenge that motherfucker for real too. I mean, like, that's just the Aries in me, but come on. You ain't no punk. What? But that's it for today. Love you, love you, love you. And until next time.